What's up everyone, welcome to another video, and this video I'm going to be doing the Lyrith boss on ToA hard, alright? Um, so this team, it's not farmable, right, by any means, but you can replace certain units, like, well, the only non-farmable units are the Hua and the Chasun. Some people use Spectra instead of the Hua, and some people might use like Bella or Basalt or any other healer instead of Chasun. That still works. And some people also use Mav, which is pretty decent because he stuns on his first skill. But yeah, like this team I've been using for a long time and it's never failed me. So we'll give it a go. All right, I'll show you just a general strategy from each floor, and I'll just skip like certain parts of it just to shorten the video. All right. So here, because of the Junos, you have to make sure that you don't use Phoenix Fury on anyone, right? So you can stun them, so like Despair is fine, but don't use any other debuffs on the Junos. And just focus down the Anavels in the meantime. So you can use Veromos to stun, it'll help reduce the incoming damage, which is nice. And yeah, then just focus fire the Anavels. Oops, I misclicked there. I should have tried to defense break that. Alright, so now with defense break now, you can heal up and use Hua to take down, even though it's not elemental, it's not elemental advantage there, but it's still fine. She just does crit, a decent amount still, and when she does, it does a good amount of burst. All right. So we just keep the units under control so we don't take too much damage, right? Because they do hurt. This is floor 100, right? I think that one's just about dead, so we'll try to slow the other one. Okay. And then once the idea is once the oh damn, she healed, so we'll go back on that one. So the idea is once the Anavels are dead, you focus fire the Junos one by one. All right, make sure that the Juno you're focus firing doesn't move. So you got to use a combination of Beretta's Turbulence and your Hua's just basic attack to slow, and also to but also to push the attack bar back, right? And yeah, that way you kill it while it's still defense broken. Don't let it move, otherwise it will heal up all the debuffs, right? So yeah, I'll show you that soon, and then I'll skip sort of the rest of it once this Anavel dies. Like if you bring Spectra, you can use Spectra to like take down the Junos a lot quicker because it's enemy HP scaling abilities. Okay, let's try. Alright, so the way I I prioritize it, I go for the one that has the lowest attack bar when my Hua moves. Right, so I try to put the slow one there and then debuff, and that way, this one I have the most time to kill it, right, before it moves. So if the attack bar is too close to the end, that's when I would use the Turbulence, but try to save it, for emergency, right, because it's on a cooldown. If your Hua is on Violet, it makes this a lot easier. More turns means she can push back the attack bar a lot more, and she does a lot more damage as well, from extra turns. My one's not on Violent because this is my Swift Hua. I do have a second Hua which is on Violent, but it's a slow one, and I think you want to bring a fast Hua for this, right? So just keep that in mind. Oh damn, not resisted, that's not good. I probably should just well, I guess I could keep trying to go for it. Okay, that should be fine now. But that's just the general idea. So I'm gonna skip to the second floor, and we'll continue from there. Okay, we're back with the second stage, or the second part of floor 100. So with this floor, you just gotta do your best to try to keep everything under control with stuns, right? So you probably be bringing despair on your Beretta, and then you've got stuns from your Veramos, right? And then you got you got debuffs from Chasun if you're bringing her, um, and also the attack debuff from Bernard, right? So you want to utilize these on basically the units that are loose, right? So by that I mean, you know, if they're stunned, they're under control, right? If they're not stunned or they don't have any damage decreasing debuffs on them, then you want to put, right, try your best to put, apply something to them to reduce the amount of damage you're taking, right? Because these guys, they hurt quite a lot, right? If they get a hit in, so make sure if they're not stunned, then they should be debuffed by your Bernard or your Chasun if possible, right? Otherwise, try to keep them under control with your with your attack bar manipulators, right? So like your Hua or your Beretta with turbulence. Try not to take too many hits. You can take a little bit, but the more hits you're taking, the more dangerous it gets, of course, right? So like you can probably take one hit from every now and then, and you should be okay with that. But yeah, obviously try not to take too much. Let's see. I'm gonna try to push that one back. Ooh, that was close. Okay, so pretty much rinse and repeat. So I'm just gonna fast forward from here to the last boss, and I'll talk about more when I get there. Okay, now we're at the boss. So let's just discuss what the boss does. Alright, so first attack is just like a basic attack, right? It also removes one beneficial effect. And the second one attacks all enemies, decreases defense, so it's good to have Veramos for that purpose, right? To remove the defense break. And her damage gets stronger if she merges with her incantations, right? And she gets incantations from the third ability. So when she does this, she splits into two copies of herself, and she gives the two copies one of her passives, right? And she keeps one passive on herself. So there's three colors, right, for each of the passive types. So if you read. One second, I think it's this one. If you go through and read it, so there's the incarnation of greed, which is the green colored Lyrith. So when you attack that one, she'll absorb some attack bar, right? So this is only while she's not stunned, right? So if she's stunned, then she won't absorb the attack bar. Alright, so that's why you want to bring something that stuns, and that's why I bring Veramos and like Despair on my Beretta. So if you stun the green one, it won't steal the attack bar and move more quickly. This is especially important if it's on her herself, because she can't get stunned, right? So if she keeps the green one, you don't want to attack her, except for you can use so you can use a Hua to debuff slow on her. Alright, that's all I would put on her. Alright, now the incarnation of Vendetta, that's the red colored one, and the red colored one will do a counter attack guaranteed on every time it gets attacked. Alright, so So that one you wanna try to stun if possible, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. So what you can do is you can use Bernard to attack break the red Lyrith, and if you attack it, it won't do that much damage. And Incarnation of Protection, that's the blue colored one. This one it has a lot of defense, right? It's very hard to kill. It doesn't take much damage, and it's also got reduces damage that the allies take, right? So as long as it's around, it will reduce damage from everyone else, like the other two incantations, right? And I believe it doesn't say here, but I believe it also reduces the chance to crit, because I think I've tried before using Verd, and there was times where I didn't get the attack bar from attacking the blue one. So that's why I bring Bernard, right? Because Bernard is a stable attack bar booster. The speed buff is nice too, and he brings debuffs, so he's pretty good for this. Now, when you start off the fight, don't do anything to the boss, right? You have to eat some damage, but you just let the boss move, and she'll split, or she should split, right? So now that she's split, you evaluate like what your game plan is. So for this one, she kept the blue one, which is a bit unfortunate, because that means I won't be doing much damage to her once I've killed off the incantations. So what I would do here, you can attack the blue incantation, which is currently on the boss right now, freely, right? It doesn't, because she won't counterattack you, and she's not going to gain more turns, right? Because what's going to happen is she has so on incantation split, right? There's a 5-turn cooldown, which you can see. Let me bring my mouse. So you can see here, there's a 5-turn cooldown. When it's cooldown, she'll use the ability again, and she'll merge with any incarnations that are like still alive, right? And when she absorbs them, she gets stronger. So that's why you want to try to, focus down the two incarnations and try to kill them as soon as possible. Now, I'll try to stun both of them, right? If possible. I didn't get the stun. Now I can use Hua to try to slow the green one so it doesn't move too often, but unfortunately I didn't get it. So now here I'll debuff I won't buff speed yet. I'll do that next turn. I'll debuff attack power, or didn't get the attack power on the red one, but that's the general idea. That's the goal that you're trying to do. And then you want to kill the incarnations with dots and Hua's like damage, right? So now that she's done an AoE, I'll heal up, and while that red one's stunned, I'll try to apply dots with Veramos, right? Now I can buff speed, try to debuff, I'll put slow on the red one first, because she's about to move, right? Now I usually use Turbulence on the boss, so that I'll give myself more time, so that this split thing doesn't go back off cooldown, right? It takes longer for her to have a turn, right? You can also debuff the boss. That's fine. It's different to the male boss. The male boss will gain. He'll get stronger when he removes harmful effects, but it doesn't. Lyrith doesn't do that, right? Now, my Veramos can stun the right one, but there's no point because it's about to move. So I'm gonna try to just keep applying dots on the left one for now. Wow, a lot of violent procs. Alright, I'll try to slow the green one. Alright, got the slow, that's good. And because I've got attack debuff and glancing on the red incarnation, I can freely attack it and she won't do that much damage to me, okay? It's also not a bad idea to use Hua to slow the boss as well. Now that the green one's moved, I'll try to stun. Alright, I got the stun, which is good. I'll slow the boss. And the left one is pretty much dead, right? Or I'll just poke it a little bit. But the left one There should be enough dots to kill it. So now I'll apply dots on the green one. Right, I can use Hua to put dots on as well. I'm gonna turbulence the green one because I don't want her to move yet. I wanted to keep her stunned for the time being. Okay. Right, just keep applying dots to it while it's slowed and stunned. I mean, and yeah, just keep reapplying dots. All right. And this is pretty much rinse and repeat until you can kill the both incarnations, right? Just deal with the boss so that when she AoEs, it's not as painful. Just keep it under control because the more time you buy, like and have like the more turns that the split is on cooldown, the more time you can DPS the boss once the incarnations are dead. Alright, so I want to, even though the green one's not stunned, I'll still try to apply dots on it. It's pretty close to dead, so okay, she's stunned anyway, but I can just sort of ignore her for the time being and just keep the boss under control for a bit. Alright, I can put dots on her. She should die now because there's plenty of dots. So I'll just use Veromos to do that, and then we just keep attacking the boss until she splits, basically. So it's basically rinse and repeat. If you have Hua on Violet, you can potentially just keep the boss at this point without making her move, right? There's a bit of RNG involved because it requires your Hua to debuff, well, not get resisted. Same for your Beretta's turbulence. Usually, what I'll do is I'll keep the turbulence for when the attack bar is pretty high, right? And until then, I save it. And if Hua derps, that she gets resisted, that's when I'll use the turbulence, right? I just save it for like a rainy day. Even then, it's still not it's not that reliable. Eventually she'll probably resist, and you'll get to a point where she'll split again. If that happens, then it's basically just rinse and repeat again, depending on how she splits next time. But she doesn't get any stronger as long as she doesn't absorb any incarnations. So if you get her to this point, you're pretty safe, right? Even if she moves again after like the split, then it's fine. So for now, I'm going to fast forward until we get to like a point that's worth talking about. Okay, we're just about at the end here. I was actually quite lucky this time because my Beretta didn't really fail the turbulence very often, right? So that's why I actually managed. I'm about to kill it just before she tries to use Incarnation Spirit again. Now, what would happen is just to explain it, you know, for people who don't know, when she tries to absorb the incarnations, and if you've killed the 2 incarnations already, she'll get stunned for 1 turn, right? And then after the next turn, like she'll wake up from the stun, and then she'll try to do split again, right? So that's what would happen. Now, if it was a green incarnation, right? If she kept the green one, she'll get her turns very quickly, right? You can't really stop her from getting the turns, but as long as the 2 incarnations are dead, she'll get stunned, right? So once she's stunned, you can keep her stunned for a fair long time, right? And you probably do a lot more, like a pretty big chunk of damage to her before she can get out of it, alright? So you have plenty of time when that happens, and you find that the fight will be a lot quicker. Like for me, because she kept the blue one, this took me quite a long time to actually get it down to this much, right? Because she wasn't taking much damage from Juan's hits. If she kept the red one, she'll keep counter-attacking you, but as long as you have attack break on her, and also glancing is even more of a help, but mainly the attack break, then she'll hit like a noodle, right? She won't hit very hard, and you'll just soon should be able to keep it up with her Amuse, right? As long as she's not violent and she's got max skill on her Amuse, very easy to keep everyone topped up. It's actually probably the best one for her to keep because, like for one, she doesn't gain attack bar, right? She doesn't get a lot of turns, and it's the state where she'll take the most damage because she doesn't have the blue one on her. Alright, so if you're trying to like reset her to get the best incarnation to the easiest one, I would say the red one's probably the easiest. So now we can just finish her off, and don't worry if she splits again. You just have to repeat the whole process all over again, and it's pretty easy if you can do it once, right? It's not like she doesn't get any stronger as long as you didn't let her absorb any incarnations, so that's not too hard from there. Now I'll show you the runes of my monsters just so that you know like what the level that my monsters are at. You don't need them to be as strong as mine are. You can definitely do it with lower quality runes. But yeah, I'll show you the stats and just quickly the runes on each of my monsters, just so you don't have to go back and dig them up in old videos, right? I do have like rune videos, but just in case people didn't want to check them out, or you can also check them out on World Boss 2. Oops, that's not supposed to happen. Alright. So as long as your Chasun is decently fast, that's good enough. Doesn't need to be super tanky, because she probably won't be the first one to die anyway. You're probably more worried about your Veromos. Alright, because of the second stage. And maybe your Bernard, because of the first stage. And I mean, this build is not ideal for Veromos. You don't have to put Will, obviously, right? If you were looking to build your unit specifically for ToA, it'd probably be best to put them on Nemesis or like Energy, Endure, some sort of stat boosting one would be fine. Or otherwise Nemesis is good. Try not to give them revenge, right? Because if they revenge the Junos, you might randomly put debuffs on them, and if you put too many debuffs on them, that's a bit awkward for you know, because they'll heal up, especially if you're running things like Bella, right? So if you have a Bella in your team, don't put him on revenge, right? Because I tried using Bella before on revenge, and he revenged the Junos, right, when they did predict the future. And it was very annoying because you know, I stunned them already, or I slowed them with Spectra, and like, yeah, he randomly put the armor break on the Juno, and then therefore it sort of screwed up the run. Oops. Okay, don't worry about that. I already showed her runes. So my Hua's on Swift, but you don't have to put on Swift, obviously, right? It's best on Violent, but Swift is sort of like the next best thing. That my Hua is built Swift for raids, but as you can see, she still did fine in this you know, this floor. Okay, so that's all the runes, and that's Lyrith. So if you have any questions, anything I missed, feel free to ask me in comments as usual, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So thanks again for watching, and I hope this is you know, a big help for people who are up to floor 100 hard. I guess just to show you, it is on 100 hard. Right, so thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.